I consume a tremendous amount of water every single day because I know that hydration is so important in terms of how my skin looks. How hydrated your skin is makes a total difference in whether or not you have wrinkles and how many, how supple your skin looks and how dewy it may look to the touch, and just the elasticity, because hydration is really important even for the elasticity of our skin. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Energetically Efficient Show. I'm your host, Kristin, and I'm so excited about today's topic because I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to take you through my skincare routine. And the reason I decided to do this is because I've had a tremendous number of questions in different programs that I've led about what exactly the skincare routine is that I use. And I decided it was finally time to share it with you guys publicly so that if any of this is interesting to you, you can use it too. Now, my skincare routine has evolved over the years and I've done lots of different products, non-toxic, probably more toxic, more natural, more medical grade skincare. And I've come up with what I think is a really good mix of all of the above so that my skincare can really be its most optimized. So I'm excited to get into it with you today. As always, if you really like this video, please like the video. And then of course you can subscribe to our channel so you can get a number of other videos about metabolic health, about all things astrology, human design, about energy, about frequency, about nutrition, about fat loss, about strength training. And of course, right now I'm going to talk to you about my skincare. Okay. So the first thing that I'd like to say about skincare is it truly is the quality of your skin. I don't remember who first said this, but I remember hearing your skin is a window to what it is like inside your body. I mean, some people would say your eyes are the window to the soul. I say your skin is a window to what's actually going on inside your body. So the better you treat your body and the better cellular health that you have, of course, the better skin you will have. Your skin is actually comprised of cells, of course, because your entire body is comprised of cells, and your cells are comprised of the foods that you give it, the liquids that you give it, the things that you consume, the supplements that you take, and more importantly, perhaps, the foods that you don't give it, the liquids that you don't consume. And those things really matter in terms of what our overall skin looks like. So I would start this by saying the number one thing that you can do to improve your skin is to eat high quality real food. And it doesn't come as a surprise that my skin is in a really good place right now and I'm coming off of my 2-week cleanse. So my Radiant Reset is a course that I launch every single quarter. It happens in January, April, July, and October of each year. So if you're watching this and it's somewhere in between those dates, you can get on our wait list. And I'll put a link for the Radiant Reset wait list below this video. I would love to have you join this 2-week experience whenever you are ready. Setting aside then what we eat, I would say the other most important thing, which isn't going to come as a surprise to you, is how hydrated you are. You guys, I consume a tremendous amount of water every single day because I know that hydration is so important in terms of how my skin looks. How hydrated your skin is makes a total difference in whether or not you have wrinkles and how many, how supple your skin looks and how dewy it may look to the touch, and just the elasticity, because hydration is really important even for the elasticity of our skin. So this particular water bottle, I'll take a sip right now just to show you. This particular water bottle I got is relatively new and it's 30 ounces and I drink at least 4 of those each day. So if I'm in the sauna, if I have a really hard workout, if I'm sweating a ton in some activity, maybe I'm outside walking a lot with the dogs in the Nashville heat, then I would have even more, but a minimum of 120 ounces of water a day for me, because I know that keeps me super hydrated. I've done a whole different podcast episode about what goes into my morning drink and what all the components of it are. So check that out, obviously on this channel. But just as by way of a short summary, my first water bottle has Redmond's Relight electrolytes in it. It has the juice of 1 lemon. And then I put a number of other powders in. Oh, it also has my creatine. I can't forget about creatine. So I do the juice of 1 lemon, my Redmond's Relight electrolytes, and my favorite creatine. And I vacillate back and forth between 2 brands of creatine. I use both Kion creatine and Myoscience creatine. And so we'll put links for those below with discount codes for you if that's interesting. And then I also have a number of other supplements in that, including L-glutamine, L-carnitine. I use TMG powder. I use a myo-inositol. So check out the video that I did before on my morning drink if you want to learn more about all of those details. But I will put links below this video if you are interested in learning more, or rather purchasing some of what I use in my morning drink. My second drink, just by way of a summary, typically has 1 packet of IM8 IM8, that's I, letter M, and number 8, daily hydration and minerals, vitamins and minerals. So I put that in my next water bottle with 1 scoop of vanilla Body Health Perfect Aminos. And then I take 5 Body Health Perfect Aminos with that. So I do that for my second water bottle. And then my third water bottle has an IM8 Daily Longevity Packet. And my fourth water bottle has more Redmond Relay Electrolytes. So I'm getting at least 2 scoops of those a day. And like I said, if I do a fifth water bottle, that's going to have more Redmond's Relay Electrolytes in it as well. Okay, so I talked about the first thing, which is you really have to feed your body real food. I talked about the second thing, which is you want to stay hydrated. And now the third thing I'd like to talk about before I get into all of my awesome skincare, which I actually brought for you and I have sitting down right here. The third thing is I do periodically get lasers for my skin. So this was something that I started basically in my 40s. It wasn't something I felt like I really needed, certainly not in my 20s. And I didn't feel like I needed it in my 30s. Now, I'm sure it would benefit me if I would have started laser therapy in my 30s. But I did start laser therapy in my 40s. And so I would say that I do laser therapy, depending on the year, once a quarter, or maybe a couple 3 times a year. So it's not like I'm doing this all the time, but I am doing this with some sort of regularity just so that I can keep the sunspots down, so I can minimize the fine lines and wrinkles, so that I can make sure the texture, it's really about the texture of your skin and the spots, the sunspots. So I feel like it makes the texture of my skin a lot better and really gets the sunspots down. A lot of people have tried, they've said, okay, I tried laser and it was really annoying because my skin peeled a ton. I couldn't even go out in public for a few days. It was a very painful process. A lot of people describe things like that when they talk about laser therapy. To be clear, you guys, I'm not talking about that at all. That's not the kind of laser I do. So I am really obsessed and I wish I had the name for you right now. In fact, I'm going to see if I can pull it up for you simply because I want to tell you the name of it. And then more importantly, after I tell you the name of it, I would recommend this particular woman who I see back when I'm in Minnesota. And if you can find someone who does this kind of laser where you are, then that would be great. I'm just going to put in her information. I will put a link here below the video. Her name is Lori. I love Lori. And it's Lori Hartzler, Hartzler. And for under her website, which is called Beyond Aesthetics, she's located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, for those of you who are in Minnesota. But really what I'm opening this for is I really want to find for you the name of the laser. So it's called the Aero Laser, AEROLASE. So I guess it's Aerolase, not Aero Laser. And the reason that I love this particular laser is there's 0 downtime. So she would laser my face in an appointment, and then I would be able to go out, walk the dogs in the sun right after. She would put a tinted moisturizer on me, and then I go out in the sun. There's no spots. There's no downtime. There's no pain. You can be out in the sun right away, of course, with tinted moisturizer on. So I just thought it was so fun when I found that, because I have tried the BBL. I've tried the Halo. I tried the Professional Laser. I did all of these other things, and there was the downtime. It was painful. Frankly, I felt like it was way more expensive. So I really like the Aerolase, AEROLASE. I know that in Minnesota, it sounds like there's only 2 of those in the state of Minnesota, and Lori at Beyond Aesthetics has 1 of them. So I think the other one is in the St. Cloud area. But in any event, wherever it is that you live in the world, see if you can find someone who does that. And if you can't find that particular laser, just try a laser for your skin and see if you notice a difference after doing, let's say an appointment every 3 weeks and do about 4 appointments. And then after that, you can just do maintenance of, let's say, once a quarter. So hopefully that's helpful. So we talked already, and I just want to recap because I want to make sure you guys are sticking with me. Number 1, of course, all of the foods that you put into your body and that you don't. Number 2, staying hydrated. And number 3, I have done a lot of laser therapy for my skin, and I just love that. Now, number 4, let's get into the most important part, which is what is actually my skincare routine. And again, I simply wanted to create this particular show around this topic for you because I get so many questions about it, and people have asked me about my skin, especially recently. So this skin regimen I'd say that I'm doing is relatively recent. I've only been doing it not even for a year. And I really, really, really like the combo that I'm doing. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do, of course, we're going to wash our face, and I'm going to show you these, but it's not going to be that easy to see on the video. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to put also what the product is right above me here on the screen so you can see it. But I want to just show you this particular brand, which again, it's going to be hard to see. So up here, you'll see it's called Imogen & Co. And I found this after I moved to Nashville. So this is actually a Nashville-based brand. And the woman who started this company, and this is one of the things I love, is when someone has a lot of a science background and then becomes a holistic person. So that's what she is. She was actually a pharmacist in her past life and then started tinkering around in the kitchen with different formulations to make high quality skincare. And so she has left her pharmacy background and now she does this business full time. So it's called Imogen & Co. And the particular product that I'm holding in my hand right now that we'll also put up here is the Ritual Foaming Milk Cleanser. I really like this cleanser. I've also tried the Refreshing Gel Cleanser. I don't like gel cleansers as much. So to me, this foaming milk cleanser is awesome. But I also have gifted to other people something called, I can't remember the exact name of it, but I want to say it's like Marshmallow Gentle Cleanser or Marshmallow something cleanser. That one is also good. So I either recommend the Ritual Foaming Milk Cleanser or the marshmallow cleanser for your first step in your skincare routine. I don't use any sort of washcloth or anything. I just use my fingers to wash it. And so I get my makeup off that way. And then the second step, which I just ran out of, so I don't have it to show you here, but we'll put a photo up. This is the Imogen & Co. toner. So there's a Renew, I think it's called Renew Facial Toner. And so that's the image here. And I just spray a few sprays of that on my face. And then I use sort of a cotton pad to wipe that off. So I just spray it directly on my face. I don't spray it on the pad. I spray it directly on my face to maximize how much of it actually gets on my skin instead of gets wasted in the pad. And then I just wipe that all over my face. So first step is the Ritual Cleanser. Second step is the toner. The third step is actually not an Imogen & Co. product. The third step in my skincare routine, and this was one step that I started, I'd say about 2 years ago when it came out. This was rated as the best new skincare product of 2024 from a lot of different brands. That might have been like an Allure Beauty Award or a Vogue Beauty Award or something. It was some sort of more mainstream beauty award, but I will say it's very high quality. And that is called Plated Daily Serum, Plated Skin Science. Guys, I'm just going to warn you, this stuff is not cheap. So I am very judicious with it. So this, as you can see, is a silver bottle. We'll put the image of the silver bottle up right here. But then the other image I'll show you right here is the Intense Serum. So that's a gold bottle. So what they recommend from this company is that you start with 1 or 2 bottles of the gold and you go through those and then you transition to the silver. I'll be very honest with you. I like the gold better. The silver is a little stickier and it's a little thicker, although the silver bottle is bigger. So this has lasted me a lot longer than the gold did. I felt like I went through the gold really quickly. Why is this stuff so unique? Because this is the first product, at least that I'm aware of in the skincare world, that you're actually using exosomes on your skin. And exosomes have so much repair technology within them. They're really good for healing your skin at a cellular level. And so Plated is the next layer that I put on my skin. And then with Plated, I also use their eye serum. So you just use a tiny bit of this eye serum, you guys. I'll put a photo of it up here. But as you can see, it has this silver wand, and that feels really good and cooling when you touch it under your eyes. So if you ever have those puffy eyes in the morning and you feel like you want to put cold spoons or cucumber slices or anything under them, this actually works really well. So this is my third step, and I'm putting these together because this goes all over my face, and I just use 1 pump of it, and I try to be as judicious as possible. And then this is my eye serum, and those are the third step. Now, you're going to think this is nerdy, but I just want to be honest with you about how I do this. After I put this on, I set my timer for 5 minutes. And that's because this really does need to work into your skin for 5 full minutes before you put anything else on it. So I know that sounds totally nerdy that I actually take the time to do that. But since my toothbrushing takes 2 minutes, that way I can just brush my teeth while I'm waiting for that to dry and go take care of a couple other things. As soon as that timer goes on, I go into layer number 4. Okay. So my 4th step, which is technically, I'd say my second layer, because the first layer or the first step is washing and the second step is toning. So third step is the Plated skincare. 4th step, which is the second layer, is, depending on the night and day, there are 2 different products. Okay. These are both by Quicksilver Scientific. I'm going to show you them here. The first is their facial beauty serum. And the second is called Copper GHK Plus Facial Serum with, and I'm going to just try and pronounce this for you guys, cycloestrogenol. I actually think I said that right. That's an anti-aging formula. Why am I showing you both of these? Because the facial beauty serum I use at night. The Copper GHK Plus facial serum I use in the morning. So I only use the facial beauty serum at night. I only use the Copper GHK in the morning. Now, both of them have the Copper GHK in them. The reason that I just do the facial beauty serum at night and I don't do that both times is the facial beauty serum also has estrogen in it. So I don't want to get in a habit of putting too much estrogen on my body. I already have an estrogen cream that I put on my body. I already have a mixed estrogen and testosterone cream that I use, and I try to make sure I'm not using too much estrogen. So we know that estrogen, specifically estriol, is really, really good for your skin, and it's great to use topically. So I get that in my facial beauty serum to use at night. And then I use the Copper GHK, which is also excellent for your skin, to use in the morning. And just to be clear, because I don't think I finished my sentence when I said this before, the facial beauty serum does include also the Copper GHK. It's got the copper peptide GHK-Cu, which is copper, and it also has estriol. This one just has the copper. So these are my second layer after I put on the plated. Facial beauty serum at night, the Copper GHK Plus facial serum in the morning. Okay, now when I put those on, I also have an eye cream. So call this the third layer or the second layer plus. And this eye cream is by OneSkin. So OneSkin is ONE, just like the number one, and skin. And it's called OS-01 Topical Eye Supplement. We'll put a photo of that right here. And so OneSkin Topical Eye Supplement is the eye cream that I use after that plated peptide cream has soaked in. Some people may say it's overkill to use two things, both a serum and an eye cream. I just like it. And my skin feels hydrated. And especially I'm recording this for you in the winter months, and you cannot get enough hydration in your body in the winter months when it is really cold outside. So that goes on, we'll call it the third layer, second plus layer, etc. Okay, now I also put on a neck cream. So I'm going to put this neck cream here. It's called Techno Neck Perfecting Cream by Skin Better Science. And you guys, I'm going to be really honest with you. When I got into my mid-40s, I started to notice more and more wrinkles here on my neck that I was not happy with. Now, I remember the first time I complained about it to Lori, who does my laser. I said, Lori, I'm just noticing these horizontal lines. I'm like, is that just something I have to deal with aging? Of course. And she said, oh, you mean techno neck? And I was like, huh? What do you mean techno neck? And she goes, think about it. And of course, I don't have my phone right here for you, but I'm just going to show you as if I was holding my phone. She goes, think about it. We're constantly looking at our phone. We're constantly typing on our phone. We're constantly texting. We're constantly like this. Think about when you sit in bed and you're on your phone, you're constantly wrinkling those. So I just laugh so hard because I'm like, of course, it's techno neck because we're doing this all the time. So I started to get this techno neck perfecting cream, and I got this from my very good friend, Chrissy Humke, Beauty by Nurse Chrissy. She sells this. I'll put a link to her website below this video. And I swear this works. I am noticing a big difference in the horizontal lines on my neck from using this cream. So I'm very excited about that cream. Okay, going on to, let's see, that was one layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer, going on to layer 5, which technically is only really like 3 layer on my face. This is my face cream. Okay, I'm going to put this here. This is the OneSkin topical face supplement. So I had already showed you my OneSkin eye supplement. This is the face supplement. It's called OS-01 face topical supplement. And the reason I love this particular lotion, you guys, is this has peptides. I'm going to do a whole different podcast episode all about peptides because I love the topic of peptides so much, and I'm taking a lot of them myself. I'm injecting peptides into my body. So I want to give you some information about that. But in the meantime, just know that this is a way to get peptides on your skin. And this is what I do for my layer, basically after either my facial beauty serum or my Copper GHK, remember? And of course, I'm also doing that eye cream. So this is my face cream, and I do this both in the morning and at night. And then last, but certainly not least, when it is really cold out and when my skin still feels particularly dry, even after I get this amazing skin cream on and it all soaks in, I do yet another layer, and that's going back to my favorite Imogen & Co., and that is their Restore Intensive Night Cream. I'm just putting a photo here, Restore Intensive Night Cream, and I put this on top of the peptide cream just to give myself some extra moisture before I go to bed. So that is my skincare routine in a nutshell, in order of what I do. I want to share with you a couple more things as it relates to this, because I think it's helpful in terms of just other things I'm doing in my routine in case it's interesting to you. I am someone who has never, ever, ever done fake eyelashes. Yes, I've had them put on for me in photo shoots. I had them put on for me the day of my wedding. They get put on for me in different things when I'm like literally doing photo shoot situations, but on a daily basis, like I've never gone to an appointment and had fake eyelashes put on. Yet lots of people ask me, and I'll just show you here, like, are your eyelashes real? What are you doing with your eyelashes? So the last thing I do before bed, after I do this whole step and I get that Restore Intensive Night Cream on, which I should have mentioned, probably not rocket science, you guys, but I don't put this on in the morning. I put the Restore Intense Cream on at night only. So after I get that on, then I use, and I'll put an image of it up here, I do use the Rodan and Fields Lash Boost, that lash serum, to help your lashes grow more. I do use that a couple times a week. And I do swear that that has kept my eyelashes so strong and long. Now, clearly, you guys, it's also about my diet, because hair on your head, hair on your eyebrows, hair on your eyelashes, that is protein. So if you're consuming a really solid diet and you're eating nutrient-dense protein, you will have better hair. You will have a lot of hair. I have a ton of hair. I do not have hair extensions, and it's been this way my whole life, more so in the last several years because I consume so much protein. So if you want to have longer hair, thicker hair, if you want your hair to grow well, it really does start with consuming a lot of protein. And then of course you have to make sure your thyroid is in check. You have to make sure you're managing your cortisol. You have to make sure you're getting all the right nutrition, that you're on supplements if you need them. So there's a lot of other factors to go into it, but protein is truly one of them. So I use that Rodan and Fields Lash Serum at night, and I thought that might be helpful for you guys to know. And then before I go to bed, because of course I brush my teeth now, I've flossed, I've used my tongue scraper, I do all of that. Then the last couple of things I do is I mouth tape. So I tape my mouth shut. I will put a random tape that I buy literally off Amazon. I don't do anything fancy. I used to get particular mouth tape strips from brands like Somnifix and others, but I just found that they don't stay on all night, frankly, and I'd find them in my hair on the pillow in the morning. So I found just a random like white surgical tape that's not too sticky, but it does stay on all night on Amazon. And so I'll put a link below because I do mouth tape at night. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you about my routine before bed after I get my face wash done is I use my NodPod. So I'll put a link below this video. I am obsessed with my NodPod, you guys. This is my NodPod. So this is like a weighted blanket for your eyes. That is literally what they call it. It's like a weighted blanket for your eyes. So when I lay down at sleep, then I'm putting this over my eyes. I do not tie it. It does have a space. It has like a little hole here. I'm not sure if it had a button, but I don't tie it. I just put it on. One side is cooler, one side is warmer. So you can just decide what you like better for you. I do have a second one. They just came out with one that has silk on the back. So I got that one. But truth be told, I brought that with me on my last trip and I don't have it out of my suitcase yet. So I used this one last night, which I just had atop my bed. So that is the last thing before bed. And then I realized that there was one thing that I did not share with you because I forgot as I'm looking at my whole routine here. And that is when I use this Restore Intensive Night Cream at night, what do I do in the morning instead of this? And that is the very last step that I forgot to tell you about. And I'll put a picture here. This is Dermatology, meaning DRMTLGY. And it's the Universal Tinted Moisturizer, SPF 46. So I do put this on every single morning in the place of foundation. I don't use foundation. I've never used foundation. I just use this tinted moisturizer. And then I use concealer over any spots that I have. And the concealer that I use, which I am very obsessed with, and I will put it here. I will put an image of it here. It's called Westman Atelier. So the Westman Atelier concealer, I think is just one of the best on the planet. And that is a non-toxic concealer. And so I use that after I put on this Dermatology Universal Tinted Moisturizer, SPF 46. And I really just like the consistency of this. They say it's like a one color thing and it works with most skin tones, which I have found to be particularly true. So that is really a fun thing that I feel like I was able to share with you about my skincare routine. Again, number one, you want to make sure you are doing real food. I always get compliments on my skin, especially after the detox. They're like, what's going on with your glowing? And I'm like, it's my cleanse. It's my cleanse. So I'll make sure I put a link to the wait list under this. Number two, by the way, the Radiant Reset does cause weight loss in people. So that might have been a Freudian slip. And then number 2, we want to make sure we're hydrating. Number 3, I do recommend that, especially if you're getting into your 40s and in your 50s and beyond, that you consider trying some sort of laser therapy and look for that AeroLase to see if you can find that anywhere near you. And then 4, of course, it's this amazing skincare routine, which I have perfected over time. Like I said, you guys, there are peptides involved in some of these. So the OneSkin product is peptides. Those Quicksilver Scientific products I mentioned to you are peptides. And then, of course, the plated is Exosomes. So I will do an entire separate podcast episode soon all about peptides, because I feel like that would also be really fun to share with you in terms of my own peptide journey, where I'm sourcing them, what I'm doing, how I'm injecting, how I'm approaching it. And I know a lot of people have questions about that. I may even start with one episode all about a particular peptide that is a gateway peptide for a lot of people called NAD+. So I may start with that one, or another one that I consider a gateway peptide, which is called BPC-157. Both of those are excellent, and I've injected both of those and have found really good results from them. So that is all that I have for you today. I know this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but I wanted to be concise about my skincare routine. I hope you found this helpful. I will put links for everything below the video. And then if you would like this, remember to like it, remember to share it with someone. And if you have any questions, feel free to put those below the video. I love interacting with you. I love receiving your questions and comments. So thank you again for being here, and I will see you on the next episode of the Energetically Efficient Show. Bye-bye.